If he's so awesome, why'd he move to the Nazi world?
I didn't say he was smart. I'm sure he didn't even notice. Sad part is, I'm not so sure this Nazi world is as different from our own world as we wish it was.
No, shut it, you fucking stupid.
And he says damn straight at the end there.
Yeah, that is genuinely a loathsome line.
James Gunn, James Gunn. I don't know if you guys heard this.
James Gunn.
He talked a little bit too much. And he was giving an interview. He was reacting to people saying he's polarizing, right? Some people might be saying this is hyperbolic, this headline. James Gunn calls fans racist and admits he has no oversight from WB on DCU projects. That's obvious. And I think that was part of his deal. And like, you can't blame him for taking that part of the deal. It's like, if you're going to rip me over for Marvel, and especially seeing what just happened to Zack Snyder. And we talked about this at the time, guys. We said I would definitely put in language like, I get to do what the fuck I want to do. Period. James Gunn called fans racist in a recent interview while admitting that he has no oversight from the WB projects. When in doubt, blame the fans. That's been Hollywood's favorite play for years now. Every time a franchise stumbles or viewers push back, executives and creators deflect by smearing the audience with labels like racist, sexist, or toxic. Now James Gunn, the man at the helm of DC's future, has joined the chorus. Now, when he took over at the time, that he would try to be different from Marvel, try to be different from these other studios, learn from what he had gone through and go, you know what? I'm going to make a DCU for everybody. We're just going to try to get everybody in. We're going to try to make it fun. You know, maybe not everything hits and not everything needed to hit. But you know what did? Superman needed to hit. Superman needed to be a huge fucking hit, a massive hit, not Creature Commandos, Superman. In a GQ interview, Gunn addressed the reaction to Peacemaker Season 2's alternative Earth twist, the alternate reality John Cena as Peacemaker has been escaping to all season in actuality was Earth X.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
What did you just say?
I'm going to go back and read it again.
What did you just say?
It was all inflection. The alternate reality John Cena as Peacemaker has been escaping to all season in actuality is Earth X. There you go. Which is dominated by Nazis. Why can't you put Nazis in your own article?
Why are they getting rid of that?
Hard place.
Has been escaping to all season is actually Earth X.
Yeah, just what
is dominated by Nazis and even includes fascist symbolism on the American flag.
Yes. So why can't you spell Nazis in your own article? Instead of actually, acknowledging that some fans simply didn't like the direction, James Gunn went on the offensive, labeling them racists. I have a few racists. Okay, here's the quote. I have a few racists that have called me polarizing, but I'm okay with being polarizing and letting racists fall to the wayside.
Fuck off.
Same thing.
If you don't like it, don't buy my book.
Buy my book.
Yeah.
People have loved this episode. People have loved this episode the most.
You people.
So it's exciting. So I don't know I don't know how you take that out of context, other than there's racists out there who don't like my show, but fuck the racists.
I do have the full interview shared right now, so we can get the full context surrounding this quote. Because we should provide context for it. I'm sure the people that fucking gag on James Gunn's dick every fucking day, I'm sure they'll get very upset with us for covering this. But here it is. I'll read the entire fucking
read it.
Sure. Peacemaker's become the flagship TV show, though. It was in response to Peacemaker's like the flagship, and James Gunn's like, well, Superman is really the flagship.
Yeah.
The next chapter after Superman, and yet it's as weird and specific as it's always been. Does that delight you as much as it delights me? Oh, fucking loser. The show delights me. I really do whatever I want with Peacemaker. And I mean, in one respect, I do whatever I want with anything because I'm able to make my own choices and I'm my own boss. But with Peacemaker, we really let it go. We take chances. We go to places where I think other people are afraid to go. We got a lot of pushback from various sources within the structure on this episode in particular. And we're like, let's not be bashful about this. Let's just do the story we want to do. And I don't want to have to pull punches with it. You pulled a million punches in this. on Earth X, one, we never saw any of the other black people where they're at, if they're kept in cages. We never saw any of that.
They're
We didn't see him
supposedly working
screaming
in
N-word.
camps.
Like,
Yeah, there's a line for that.
Screaming the fucking N-word at this black woman who was running down the street. You pulled a million punches, so shut the fuck up, you bitch. And then it's literally right into this quote. And it's interesting because there hasn't been that sort of... I have a few racists that have called me polarizing, but I'm okay with being polarizing, letting racists fall to the wayside. People have loved this episode the most, so it's exciting, right?
Yeah.
That is the context of the quote, the full context.
A few races. So we've had a few fans. Which few? Where? What's the context
The
of that?
racist ones.
The racist ones. If you make those blanket statements, even if you add the word few, he knows what he's fucking doing. He absolutely knows what he's doing. And this is the kind of stuff that we've seen from creatives for the last 10 years, right? So, and he is totally aware of that, completely aware of that. And I think he's held back for a while. He has a lot of bitterness and resentment over his cancellation. And I think we all know who he blames for his cancellation, for his brief
his
cancellation.
cancellation for posting stuff like, I'd like kiddies touching me in my special funny
Right.
place and
Yes.
stuff like that.
Yes.
And
It's just
talking about
jokes.
rodgering, it's just jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, it's just jokes.
About
Why
kids.
would anyone take your kiddie stuff out of context, James?
So my question
Why?
is, replace the name James Gunn with Kathleen Kennedy, with Alex Kurtzman, and what kind of reaction do you get?
Yeah.
And
I also think it would be different if in this interview he was at, like, the question was asked, I see a lot of racists on the internet are really mad about this episode, James. How do you feel about that? And then this was his answer. That would be one. I still wouldn't answer it that way if I was him, but that would be one thing. The question is, hey, Peacemaker's been awesome. Does it delight you that Peacemaker's the flagship show? He's like, man, the racists don't like the show, but I don't care.
he pulled it out
That's
of
a
nowhere.
stupid question because there's only one live action TV show. So, of course, it's the flagship show. It's the only show you've fucking got. It's not like there's a choice of shows, but everyone's gravitated towards Peacemaker, therefore making Peacemaker the flag. It's the only fucking one you got, mate. Of course, it's the fucking flagship show.
Also, how does the excuse track or scan like across multiple things? Are there like $400 million worth of racists who stopped Superman making $1 billion? Was that racist too, or was that somebody else?
Totally. Yeah.
Okay.
Superman would have made $1 billion if it wasn't for those pesky racists. Would have got away with it.
Especially those
just have
racist
a feeling.
overseas.
I get
look,
the feeling if there were a group of racists that were criticizing James Gunn and Peacemaker, their criticism wouldn't be to call him polarizing. I think they'd have a few other more choice.
There's nothing that aligns them. Also, these are the racists that said that the best thing about Superman was Mr. Terrific. Those racists.
And I think, look, I don't think that if we had a full-on Earth X like season, I've seen that in the CW, and as bad as that got and as cringy some of that shit is, I liked when they did Crisis on Earth X. I actually really fucking thought it was cool. And you know why? Because they went out of their way to show like the differences between the worlds, to make it very clear that Earth X is this fucking totalitarian state where these people are in cages and getting exterminated, like all of this stuff. In this one, not only do you basically pull all of your punches about this Nazi-controlled world, and it's really tough for us to differentiate why we wouldn't want to live there. Not only that, but also you go out of your way with your little fucking Scrabble game to make it clear that you think that a world controlled by the fucking Nazis really isn't that much different than the world we live in today. You get to be a fat, black, lesbian retard in your world, but it's not that different from the Nazi world where I get chased down the fucking street by 100 white people. What the fuck are you even talking about?
You can probably, it's easier to construct an argument that James Gunn is racist because like James Gunn always has this problem with the curse of the unintended narrative because he doesn't really think through what he writes or what he puts on screen. So in Superman, for example, like the thematic message in Superman is essentially that corporations can solve the Middle East conflict. Like you can send Halliburton away to solve Israel-Palestine. That's kind of what the movie inadvertently tells you. And in this one, the happiest, most well-adjusted utopian universe there is, everything you see in it is peaceful and everyone gets on, is the world where the Nazis won. And there's only a single line in that which basically says, oh yeah, all the minorities are in camp somewhere. But everything it shows you is happy and lovely and well-adjusted and peaceful. If you're
they even bound together to run after the fat woman.
They do. It's very communitarian, the Nazis.
What are you trying to say with that, James?
After I watched
I know.
the last episode,
What is he trying to
Peacemaker,
say, though?
I watched the. I don't know if any of you guys watched the podcasts that he does, like the James Gunn Peacemaker podcast, and I just was like, let me put one of these on to just see what they talk about. And he had on like his like the blonde girl, his wife, the black girl,
God, of course,
and the Twinkie acrobatic guy,
Vigilante.
Yeah. No, the Asian.
No, I think she means
the little guy.
The
Judo
green
master.
guy.
Judo master.
Yeah,
These are such memorable characters. I love them.
The green guy.
And it's funny because some of the things I guess he said in this interview is what he said in this podcast, and he thinks he's such a freaking hero, and he loves his. You can tell in the podcast episode, like he loves his diversity. He has so much reverence towards like the black girl who has, I don't know, some kind of Emmy or award. He was going on and on about that, and like what a good ally he was. And he talked about like, I used to live in this gated community in Atlanta. I was the only white person there, and it was just like a gated community. Where white people live. Like he was just so happy to be the only white person wherever he was living. And anyway, they were talking about like, this, I forget her name, the black actress, but like
Danielle Brooks.
Okay, Danielle. Oh, Danielle, I sent her the script and I was like, are you okay with this? Like the whole, Nazi premise or her being chased. And she said, yes, let's do it. And then she actually says in this podcast interview, she said, yeah, it's not much different than the world we're living in now. And I'm like, dude, you're not being chased. They love pushing this. They think we are currently America is being currently controlled by Nazis. Like I truly think they all believe
so
that.
Stupid.
Well, also in this interview, they get into the reaction that the internet had. It's like, I've seen a lot of white people online admitting they didn't notice the absence of non-white background characters, and many people of color saying they picked up on that almost immediately. Well, look, I don't know about you guys. I was told personally it's wrong to count the amount of white or black people in a movie. I was told specifically not to do that for the last big DC movie that came out. So I don't know why that's okay now.
But you see, because you can never win. Okay,
I'm colorblind.
If you notice them, you're racist. But if you don't notice them, you're also racist. So it's like you're a racist no matter what you do.
It's a lose-lose. Well, it's like, words are violence and silence is violence. You can't win either way. Same idea.
It's just a fucking boring fucking thing. They keep doing the same thing over and over. It's so tiring.
Here's this response from Gunn. Yeah, I think there's a certain amount of truth to that. It'd be one thing if we didn't have so many people of color in other scenes. It's pretty noticeable when you go back and forth from Earth X to our Earth. Look, we are on the internet and we are in this online world and we talk about these things. The first thing Gary messaged me after he watched Peacemaker was, are there any black people in that world? And I said, nope, LOL. And it's perfect, right? It was obvious. To me, I guess it was obvious. It feels like it was obvious to a lot of other people. I'm sure it went over some people's heads. But for us who have been watching modern Hollywood slop where there's a fucking check mark and a quota for everything, it was clear and obvious. And then he says, one person notices, hey, wait a second. Why are those white background actors in one place and then a very diverse crowd in the other place? They shoot in Atlanta, Georgia. It's not a place that's known for being no black people. And the minute you see that, you're like, oh shit, yeah, he's in a not so great place. Well, there are tons of places all over this country that you could go. You could go to places and it's all black people. There are areas in this country you could go, you won't see a white person in that city. There are plenty of places in this country still where you can go there and you won't see a black person. Are those not great places? Are those terrible fucking places? What does that even mean?
Yeah, I'm a little confused by the messaging here. Little
I know. James Gunn fucking feels bad for being white and he wants you to feel bad for being white. That's the messaging. It's fucking crystal clear.
Yes.
But his fat black lesbian character is simply there to be black this season. Because this season she's had absolutely nothing to do. She's participated in zilch. She's advanced the plot nothing up to you're black in this world. She's driven Peacemaker twice, I think, in the show so far and offered zilch. So her role in the show is literally to be fucking black.
And a lesbian.
But we're the fucking racists.
I just want to
see John Cena is and about how his acting. Like she really was going on. Oh, his acting this season. I mean, in general, he's so good. But this episode in particular, when he's on the motorcycle and he grabs her hand and they drive off, and I was like, I can't believe they're
or the time where she saved him when he was crying and she had to carry him, Harcourt, by the way, who again is a complete girl boss in this show. Just staying on theme with Platoon's video, not sure why she gets a pass when nobody else does, or she gets a pass when we've criticized other people. She's kicking the shit out of people. She saves Peacemaker again. This is a couple episodes after she puts him in a fucking sleeper hold, you know, and then she's the one who's got his brother in a chokehold, and like somehow it's like, what?
Yeah,
it's because she wears pants.
Okay,
they made a point to,
that was it.
And on top of that, the character's also an unlikable friggin'.
Say bitch.
They're all unlikable.
I want her on this close.
Do it, Chad.
I hate her character.
He has Kegel power.
Chad, you can say see you next Tuesday.
Like, with all the commentary on the stupid narrative and stuff like that, even if you were to separate Earth X and everything like that, this show is one of the most loathsome, hateful, spiteful pieces of crap of a boring trudge of a show that you know, oh, this is your flagship, James? I've lost
complete control of.
According to him, this is the show that they pulled Superman out of theaters early for, right? They was like, oh, we gotta put this on VOD early because of this show.
Yes.
Watching this show feels like dragging my eyes through feces.
I don't want some fucking Nazi allegory about our current day, and I don't want fucking racism and this and then. Oh, these guys are just superheroes in superhero costumes fighting supervillains doing supervillain shit.
Well, it distracts from like what was the only kind of strong thing in the episode anyway, because I think we're talking behind the scenes before we started, like about there is one kind of semi-strong or semi-interesting idea in this season, which is more than like Marvel's done with this multiverse stuff ever, to give the show its as much credit as I can. Like the idea that, we're already doing a multiverse fuck, but even then we go through and there is actually a difference. Like a character does actually want to go through and live there. It's a nicer world. This is a world in which he can be happy. What conflict does that create in the character when he has to go back to the real world? Will he make the decision? He has the choice. Can he go to one or the other? Like, there's an interesting bit going on there. And of course, like with the fact that his family's alive in the alternate universe, but dead in the universe he comes from, like there's some kind of strong emotional stuff that you can play with. And then you sort of get pulled around to a joke about missing a Hitler mural on the wall. And I sort of lose all interest. It's like there was a story idea for season 2, and that idea wasn't terrible, but the comedy kind of ruined it, and the thematic messaging kind of ruined it. Lots of the acting was quite shit, and every character being a one-note joke machine also kind of ruined it.
There is absolutely nothing safer to do right now than white people are Nazis. It's the safest, softest, fucking lowball, low-hanging fruit bollocks that you can possibly do. Involved absolutely zero fucking imagination whatsoever. You're signaling to your fucking crowd of people, and I, by the way, don't for 1 minute believe that James Gunn believes any of this fucking bollocks.
No,
he's just playing the fucking political game to get himself clout, get himself fucking pats on the back, get himself future work. Harcourt's the worst thing about this fucking show. She's a one-trick fucking pony. She's simply there to be an obnoxious fucking bitch that everybody, for some reason, fawns over. She's not likable. There isn't a fucking likable character in the fucking show. The only line of genuine dialogue that I've heard in this whole, 7 episodes so far, or whatever it is when fucking his dad was talking about things being off and he doesn't feel this way. And that was the only fucking bit where I was like, oh my God, I'm actually feeling some fucking... now you've got to undercut it by stabbing him to death with Vigilante. Okay. Nothing in this fucking show has resonated in the slightest. Nothing whatsoever has made me go, yeah, I can get behind these characters. I can understand what's going on. The way that you portray Earth X is you could have gone in there and actually had some legitimate conversation, but you chose not to. Yeah. You chose to try and gotcha people. This world which is tidy and sunny and people are polite to each other and they get on and it seems like a great place to live and people are cheering on the heroes. Oh, by the way, that's Nazi land. No, it's not. James, this is just it. You made your argument is segregation works. That's your fucking argument.
Literally.
And you're so fucking dumb you can't even fucking see it because you're too busy fucking whacking yourself off to your fucking leftist Hollywood cunts who are fucking there going, oh, James.
All right,
James,
we got the message, Az.
Talk about getting fucked up the ass by Lex Luthor and something.
Nerderotic.com. Please subscribe.
Man nennt es Hausabendrot. Es war der Ruin vieler guter Jungs. Von mir, mein Gott, litt ich Not.